Coach Vikkie, and today's episode is one of the most important ones I will share in the entire series because I am talking about a season where I prayed and prayed and prayed and even felt completely silent, and God felt completely silent. If you have ever felt like God just stopped responding about your relationship, I need you to watch this whole episode because what I learned in that silence changed how I discern everything now. Let me set the scene for you. There was a relationship I won't go into every detail where everything looked right on paper. He loved God. On the surface, he said the right things. Our families got along. People around us kept saying, you two would make such a beautiful couple. And I genuinely wanted, clarity from God about it. So I prayed, I fasted, I asked God for a sign and waited for that feeling of peace I talk about so often. And nothing came. Not a yes, not a no, just silence. I want to be honest with you. That silence almost broke me because, and I've been taught, maybe like you have, that God always gives a clear answer if you just ask sincerely enough. So when the silence continued for weeks, then months, I started to spiral into some dangerous thinking. I thought maybe my faith wasn't strong enough. Maybe I wasn't praying correctly. Maybe God was punishing me for something, and none of that was true. And I want to walk you through what I eventually understood about God's silence, because I think so many of you are in this exact season right now. Lesson 1: silence is not always God withholding. Sometimes it is God allowing you to choose. This was the hardest, pill for me to swallow. I had been taught to wait for permission on every decision, as if God needed to micromanage every choice. But the more I studied scripture, the more I realized God gives us wisdom, principles, and discernment. And sometimes He trusts us to make a decision within those boundaries rather than, handing us a particular sign. Silence doesn't always mean wait. Sometimes it means I'm already giving you what you need to decide and you need to use it. Lesson 2: silence can be an invitation to examine your own motives, not just His will. During that season, I had to ask myself some uncomfortable questions. Was I asking God to confirm this relationship, or was I asking God to confirm what I had already decided I wanted? Because those are different prayers. If you're praying, God, please confirm this is right, while you have already emotionally invested everything into the outcome you want, you might not be praying for discernment. You might be praying for permission. And sometimes God's silence is Him, waiting for you to get honest about that. Lesson 3: what you do during the silence reveals more than what you feel during the silence. This is the lesson that changed everything for me. Instead of obsessing over getting an answer, I started asking, what is the wise thing to do right now, regardless of whether I get a clear yes or no. I started paying closer attention to actions instead of words. I started watching how He treated people when He thought no one important was watching. I started, noticing the fruit of the relationship instead of waiting for a feeling to confirm it. And slowly, not in one dramatic moment, but slowly, I started seeing, things I had been too emotionally invested to see before. That is exactly what emotional investment does. I started to see inconsistencies, disrespect, small dishonesties, a pattern of words not matching actions. And the silence wasn't God abandoning me. The silence was God giving me space to actually see instead of just feel. Lesson 4: sometimes the silence ends with relief, not revelation. You know what? I eventually walked away from that relationship, not because I got a lightning bolt no from heaven, but because in the space God gave me, I started seeing clearly enough to make a wise decision for myself. And here is the part I want you to hold on to. When I made that decision, the silence broke. Suddenly I felt peace. Suddenly prayer felt easy again. It was as if God had been waiting, not to give me an answer, but to see if I could walk in wisdom He had already given me. So if you are in a season of silence right now about your relationship, you're thinking, oh, what is God saying about this person, right? Does this God want me to be with this person or not? Here is what I want you to do this week. Stop asking God to confirm what you've already decided. Ask Him to show you the truth even when it is uncomfortable. You know what? The wisest thing to start doing now, whenever you meet someone, put your feelings in a box and pray about them. Pay attention to fruit and patterns instead of waiting for a feeling. Make the wise decision, in front of you with the information you currently have, and don't wait indefinitely for a sign that may never come in the form of what you are expecting. And trust that if you're writing in wisdom and integrity, God is not going to let you walk permanently in the wrong direction. He may correct you, He may redirect you, but His silence is never abandonment. Next episode, we are talking about the 5 signs God is actually confirming a relationship. Practical, tangible signs, not vague feelings. And if today's episode resonated with you, that one will give you even more clarity. I am Coach Vikkie. Subscribe, share this with someone in a silent season right now, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.